Hello witches, I am High Priestess or Venus. We have Samhain coming in fast on October 31st. Now, you have heard me talk about celebrating your ancestors and loved ones and pets that have passed away before you. When I say honoring pets that have passed away before you, that's exactly what I mean. Some people don't believe this, but it's 100% true. Losing a pet is exactly like losing a human that you loved. Losing a pet, an animal, is exactly like losing a human that you loved. There is no difference. That cat, that dog, that hamster, that snake, that spider was not just that. It was not just a dog. It was not just a cat. That dog was family. You were its adopted mother for a little while. You see, our pets are only in our lives for a certain amounts of years, and then they predecease us. Most of the time, they predecease us. But for the sake of argument, our pets predecease us. They pass away before us. And the grieving process, guess what? Which is the same as losing a human loved one. Absolutely. Anybody that tells you, oh, it was just a cat, it was just a dog, that person don't care about you. That person has no respect, no compassion, no empathy at all when it comes to you. When I say honoring your pets that have passed away before you, I'm talking about putting out pictures of your pets. I'm talking about rewatching videos of your pets that you took on a VHS tape. I'm talking about putting a spot on the table or maybe next to the table for your pet, the same way you would have what is known as a dumb supper for your ancestors. Have a dumb supper for your pets that have passed away before you. What is a dumb supper? A dumb supper is just that, a supper. You set a table with food, but for your ancestors or your pets that have passed away before you, you don't set out any food since they, of course, don't have a body to eat that food. We set a place for them and our pets at the table to encourage them to come into our world, to pass through that veil between the living and the dead that is at its thinnest on October 31st. It hurts. It hurts bad. Just as bad to lose a pet like you would if you had just lost a human loved one. It hurts. It won't hurt all the time, but every now and then, every couple months, every couple of years, it's going to hurt. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Especially if you have the remains of your pet or if your pet is buried in a pet cemetery. Not talking about the movie, but a actual pet cemetery that you can go to. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, I believe, even more because you are so close, because you do have so much access to that deceased pet's remains. But listen to me, witches, it won't always hurt. Absolutely, you should honor your pets as well, because our pets are family. You were its adopted mother or father for a little while. You are your pet's parent for a set number of years. And then they leave you. And then you're hurting. You know, a lot of people are in therapy because they can't, not, I don't want to say get over, but they simply can't deal with the fact that their dog that was 14, 15, maybe even 20 years old has passed away. There are people who are in therapy because they can't deal with the grief of losing their pet. And guess what? That is normal. Grieving is normal. There is no expiration dates on grief because, like I just said, there are going to be days, months, years, generations, half a century, if you live that long, when it will hurt. You may have lost a pet 20, 40, 50 years ago, and guess what? It still hurts. Why does it still hurt? It still hurts because losing a pet is just like losing a human loved one. It was not just a dog. It was not just a hamster or a gerbil or a chinchilla. It was a family member. But yes, absolutely, which is when I say honor your loved ones and pass on Samhain, which is 2 weeks away, I mean exactly that. Because our pets that passed away was family. They can also join and they can also pass through that veil between the living and the dead. You might hear a little bit of barking. You might hear a little bit of meowing. Any sound that pet made when they were alive, you might hear it, especially now as we get closer to Samhain. You might actually see that pet. You might actually see their paw prints. You might actually find pieces of their fur or their whiskers around the house, even though they passed away 10 years ago. You might find a fur ball from your cat. That's so unusual because that cat passed away 10 years ago. So that's how you know your pet has come to visit you. And many, many times our pets do show themselves physically. They may look transparent, like you can see through them, or they may look in very rare occasions, and I do mean rare occasions, they may look as solid, as real, as alive as a actual living animal. But that takes a lot of energy for an animal to manifest that type of energy, to look so real as though they are alive. So don't get hyped up right now thinking you were going to see your pet as they were in life, because that's so rare. That's so rare. But it does happen though. It does happen. Include your pets in your Samhain celebrations. It's not weird. You're not a psycho. It's not strange. It's not deranged. Why? Because our pets are equal to family. Absolutely. I know it hurts. I've lost pets. I've done my share of crying. But I do know that veil between the living and the dead is becoming thinner, so it's easy to communicate with loved ones and pets that have predeceased me and also predeceased you. So of course, ask your pet to come into your magical workings on Samhain on October 31st, 2 weeks away.